Okay, so this decorating technique that I'm going to show you guys is called Mishima. It's actually a faux Mishima because traditional Mishima is not done using wax. We're going to use wax because it simplifies the process. So working with the wax, it is important that you work on top of the mat. Reason why is we don't want to get it on top of our tabletops. It's not so easy to clean off, and if you happen to get it on your bisqueware in the future, it makes glaze not stick to your bisqueware. All right, so you're gonna open up your wax. Everything's on the mat. I have these little makeup applicators. It makes it really easy to apply the wax. You need one coat, that's it, just one coat. You wanna try not to overlap them. So here we go. So we are almost dry. I'm gonna just try and flip it over and see if I can do the back. Once you're done waxing, it is important that you clean the makeup applicator so that it can be reused again and again and again and again. And that you put the lid back on the wax so that it doesn't dry out. So the makeup applicator needs to be rinsed in water. Add a little of the soap that's in the container where everything is kept to the makeup brush, just so that the wax doesn't ever have a chance to harden. So make sure you clean the supplies when you're done using. Once your wax is dry, you are ready to start carving. You need 2 tools to complete this part of the project. You're gonna need a stiff bristled brush. These are kept on the cart in a bucket. Don't leave it by the sink. They're not meant for painting. You wanna make sure that the brush is dry. This is a stylus tool. It is a metal tool and it has a little ball on each of the ends. One side is larger and one side is smaller, so you can make a thin line or a thick line. Make sure that your tool is clean, whoever used it last, because most likely it's not. All right, so before I start carving the front, I like to flip over and I like to test on the back to see if I'm ready to carve. So I'm gonna see if I can carve in the back. What I'm looking for is the crumbs to sweep away. It'd be hard to see. I just wrote my name on the bottom. I'm looking for the crumbs to just sweep away and not get stuck to the piece. And as I was carving, I could tell that this is ready to go. So the crumbs just brush away. They don't get stuck. They don't feel really soft. So all I'm gonna do now is carve my design on the front. As I'm carving, I'm going to be brushing away. Don't wait till it's all done to brush away. Brush away a little bit at a time. It's important that what you brush away, you're brushing onto something, a piece of newspaper. You're brushing onto a piece of newspaper. At the end of the period, you could just throw the newspaper away. You want to be careful. Especially the rim of your piece is going to be fragile, so don't hold it by the rim as you're working, or you will snap a chunk off of it. So hold it by the bottom, keep it flat on the table, put it on a banding wheel, whatever you decide. So I'm just gonna go ahead and carve my design. All right, so now it's time for your big reveal. You finished carving. I went through and I did some more on the back. To add the underglaze, you want it to be on the waterier side. You don't want to add a lot of water to it. I have this little dish in case my underglaze is really thick and I need to kind of water it down just a little bit, but I still want it to be relatively thick, just not so thick that it's painting on like acrylic paint. We want it to kind of flow on nice and easy. I also have a bucket of water and a sponge to wipe away the excess. So here we go. So I'm just gonna start by painting it on and see how it is. This one is pretty liquidy, so I'm okay. You only need one coat of this. And you can spread it out as much as it will move. I'm gonna kind of swirl my brush just to make sure that it's getting into all those little teeny tiny grooves. And then I'm just gonna let it dry a little bit. I'm not gonna let it fully dry, but I just want it to dry a little bit so that in the grooves it's kind of set up and it will stay. So when I wipe away, it's only really taking off the top surface. So I'll be back when it's dry. All right, so I would say about 3 minutes has passed. It is still a little bit wet, but there are areas that are starting to dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my bucket of water and my sponge. I want my sponge to be fully wrung out. So damp, but definitely not dripping with water. From here, I'm just gonna swipe over and I can start to see my design come through. I keep rotating my sponge around for a clean spot. Once I run out of clean spots, I go in, clean off the underglaze, fully wring it out again, and I'm just gonna keep repeating that process until all of the black underglaze has come off. If it does happen to come out of a spot that I want to put it back, all I have to do is take the underglaze back, put it in, let it dry, and wipe away again.